All right, where was I? So yeah, like I said, the doctor comes in for the diagnosis. 2 weeks later, you have to wait. I go in. I'm sitting there waiting for him to come in the room. He comes in. He sits on the sliding chair. The stool is kind of low. He goes to sit down. As he sits down, the sliding chair goes 6 to 8 feet to the wall, and I'm like sitting there on on the thing that you got to sit on, thing you lay back on or whatever the case, with the paper they pull down and everything. I'm just sitting there and I'm like looking at him like I'm like mesmerized anyway because I'm thinking about my results. But I see him flying back. I don't know what's going on. Beats me, but he goes flying back. Feet up in the air, overhead. He falls back in the corner, curled up and everything. It wasn't funny at the time, but every time I think about it, it's freaking hilarious, man. But I'm just saying, like, you gotta be in a frame of mind where I was at, getting the diagnosis there. He could have been telling me that, boom, 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 that, I only got X amount of, whatever, I gotta go through this, that, and other. So, he gathers himself, fixes his hair, clothes, and everything. And I'm just like sitting there, like, and I was like in shock anyway. So, because I still was devastated from what happened 2 weeks ago with all that stuff. And so he pulls up the chair, whatever the case, and he tells me that everything is clear and clean. So that's the only thing I'm thinking about. Like, I'm like, okay, yes. But he tells me, of course, you got to 5 more years, you got to get it done again or whatever. And 5 more years cometh. Time flies. So at the end of the day, what I was doing was thinking about that situation and a whole bunch of other things. I watched a lot of people that I seen, like I grew up with and things. I seen them transform in front of me to like old people, crippled people, disabled people. And there's a lot of situations that happen prematurely that should not be happening that fast. And a lot of that has to do with diet, with lifestyle. And, I try to tell people, at the end of the day, when you see people go to dialysis or, whatever stuff that they go through, it's like you have to go to the hospital for something. So instead of going to the hospital for an hour to 3, 4 hours, 2, 3 times a week, instead of doing that, why not just ride your bike for 30 minutes, 3, 4 times a week? Why not go for a brisk walk? Walk up a little incline hill, some steps. Now, mind you, I'm not saying anything strenuous. Of course, the big factor, especially when it comes to prostate cancer, is the meat intake. I used to be, like I said, remember that roast beef sandwich? I used to like my meat just as red as it can come. And I used to think that was a big deal. I used to like my eggs sunny side, poke them, let that yolk just run all down. Like, it really disgusts me. I'm sorry, but it disgusts me now and it pisses me off to even think about all of that right now. How, ignorant that I used to be. So I'm glad I educated myself. I'm glad I found this lifestyle. I'm glad you guys found this lifestyle. I'm glad that you guys that are not into this lifestyle are thinking about it, interested in it. The ones that are dipping and dabbing and can't seem to stay like focused on it, just look around you. You know, where I work where sometimes people have to walk through my job. There's a main entrance to the little mall, but they have to walk through my job to go upstairs to the doctors. And We see people constantly, all different ages, and it's not an old thing or anything like that. It's not an overweight thing. We see constantly, people constantly going, young people, thin people, just whatever. It's just that it's just all different type of sicknesses, illnesses, diseases, different things going on. And a lot of things can be prevented. So with the prostate factor, I looked at the factor of the meat consumption. Meat period. Raw meat, undigested, just those things are cancerous, and it helps if you do have cancer or any type of cancer, anything, then those things help to feed keeping the body acidic. And that's what the cancer feeds and lives off of. When you're vegan, and I'm no doctor, this is just my personal experience here, bridging that gap to make you want to go ahead and do some research on thinking at a different level from what you've been thinking before. So when you keep yourself plant-based, a lot of greens, a lot of water, and the water is very important also. You have to watch the pH of the water. 7.5 or better. Anything lower than that, you might as well be drinking a soda or something like that. So at the end of the day, you don't have to be scared into this lifestyle like I was, but at least, hopefully, it's never too late. Do some research behind it. A lot of different things, prevention, and if you do go and get tested and things like that, then, I believe there's a blood test now that you can take or something like that. So at the end of the day, it's all about knowledge is key, man. Knowledge is everything. So, I appreciate you for listening to this story. I hope it helped out for anybody out there, because really, honestly, like, I was really, really lost. And I just jumped into that without having any knowledge or anything. So, veganism means a lot on a lot of levels. It helps to keep your body free of disease, arthritis, breaking down, gives you that fountain of youth. It keeps that youth, keeps you tight. A little bit of exercise, it gives you that energy also. It makes you the man in bed, and the woman also keeps that libido up no matter what. Like, it's so many different benefits behind it. Plus, it saves the planet. Like I said, we're a voice of the animals and all that. So, I just hate to see us be backwards in the things that we do when we're supposed to be evolving to a better state, a better situation. We don't have to be ignorant and go through things and learn the hard way. Like, we can learn from other people's mistakes and things like that. So yeah, sharing is caring. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Thanks for listening. And till the next time, it's not about me, it's about we. Get your prostate checked. But even more important, leave that meat and dairy alone so that you don't have to worry about it. It'll be smooth sailing, man. Yeah. Not just with prostate, but with a whole bunch of other things. Life will be so much better for you. You'll be living as a child. You know how people say, I wish I had an opportunity to go back and relive my early 20s or my teens or whatever the case. Well, at 50 years old, I'm telling you right now, I feel like a freaking 19-year-old, man. I feel freaking amazing. I have the energy. I have vitality. I'm freaking happy as I don't know what, man. Like, I have a freaking ball. Like, it's so funny. It's like a slap in the face. Like, how somebody can slap you because you did something wrong. It's like a slap that, like, wakes you up. Like holy crap, epiphany. Like, what the? I'm surprised I never thought about living like this or doing this like this or carrying on like that or whatever. Like, this lifestyle's awesome. So all support to me, from me to you. We're in this together. I love you guys. Bring it in. You know how it is. You know how we do. You gotta get that hug, man. You gotta get them hugs, man. All day, every day, hugs, man.